Hi, welcome to the Cozy Nutty Knitter. My name is Sadia. I am so happy you're joining me today. In today's video, I am going to show you how to knit the stockinette stitch in the flat. So what's a stockinette stitch and why in the flat? Well, the stockinette stitch is a very basic stitch that utilizes two types of stitches. You have the purl stitch and you have the knit stitch. And what it means to knit it in the flat means it's a 2-row repeat. So the first row, you will knit everything. You will flip your work around, and in the back row, you will purl everything. Now, I have a small swatch to show you what this actually looks like. I'm sure you've seen this type of pattern before. So the stockinette stitch is very, very smooth. And this side would be considered the right side. These little V's represent the knit stitch. And when you flip your work over, these bumps represent the purl stitch. And this is considered the wrong side of your fabric. I have used this stitch in so many of my projects. I've created socks, blankets, cardigans, I mean, you name it. It's very, very versatile, and it really gives a nice professional look to your fabric that you're knitting. So in this video, we are going to do 4 things. We're going to cast on some stitches. We're going to knit those stitches, flip our work. We're going to purl those stitches. And once our little swatch gets to a desired length, we're going to cast off those stitches. So enough of my rambling, but before I show you all of that, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Okay, so for knitting my swatch, these are the supplies that I will need. I do have my yarn. This is an acrylic yarn, and it's number 4 weight. And this is my circular needle. It's 16 inches. It's a Takumi 10.5 American and 6.5 millimeter. And then I also have my little handy dandy scissors. Now, obviously you can knit this on a straight needle. For some reason, I just love my circular needles. I guess I don't have to worry about dropping a needle. I don't know. I just like my circular needle. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and start off by casting on our stitches. I'm going to start working with 10 stitches, and how I figure out how much yarn I need, I can try to guess, but sometimes I will pull out too much yarn or not enough. And this is a better way of doing it. So I'm going to, since I want 10 stitches, I'm going to wrap this yarn 10 times around my needle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, push back, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to unravel that. And just to be on the safe side, I'll probably pull another 3 to 4 inches right here. So we're going to perform the long tail cast on method. So what I like to do is have my tail towards me, my working yarn, which is the yarn from the skein, in the back, and then I will create a slip knot. And then I will take my needle and insert it into what would be considered the very first stitch and kind of tighten it up a little bit, not too tight though. And I will grab the yarn with my palm, and then using my index finger and my thumb, I'm going to separate the yarn. And now we're ready to start casting on. Now remember, this is your first stitch, so to cast on, you flip your left hand over, go to that bottom yarn, pick it up, bring it over to the yarn that's on your pointer finger, pick that up, pull it through, and let go of it with your thumb. One more time, under, bring it over, loop it through, drop it. Under, loop it over, loop it through, drop it. So we have 4 stitches now. Let's keep doing this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, as you see, I still have some yarn left over, so when I'm ready to weave in my ends, I have enough yarn to do so. So remember, this stockinette stitch is a 2-row repeat. So the first row, I'm going to make sure that my tail is in the back. And in order to knit, I'm going to start off by sticking my needle in through the left, up, wrap the yarn around my right needle, pull it through that stitch, and then off the left needle. So let's do that again. And then we also need to make sure for the knit stitch that the working yarn is in the back. So we're going to put it through like this, wrap it around, pull it through. There we go. Second one. Third one. So we're going to go ahead and knit all these 10 stitches. Just have a few more to go. 3, 2, and 1. So now I have done the first part of my 2-row repeat. I have knitted my whole row, yay! So now I'm going to flip my needle around and we are going to purl. So if you're ever working on your work and you're trying to figure out like, what stitch am I doing? Well, if you look at this, I'm going to flip this back over. It's kind of hard to see. You have these tiny, tiny little V's here. That represents the knit stitch. And when you flip it around, you have these bumps, and that's the purl stitch. So now we're going to go ahead and purl this row. Make sure your working yarn, is in the front. And then we're going to purl that. There we go. Oops, I pierced my yarn. That happens sometimes, you know. Okay, so let's purl. Okay, just a few more stitches to go, 4 more to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now we have done our 2-row repeat. Okay, so now you can better see the V's from the knit stitch and the purls on a wrong side for the purl stitch. So go ahead and continue this. Repeat these 2 rows back and forth until you get to the desired length. I will meet you when I get there for myself. Okay, so I am going to finish this up with these next 2 rows. So on the knit side, as you can see, I have the V's. So this is the right side of my fabric, and these V's represent knitting. So I'm going to knit all of these. And almost done with this row. Here we go. And flip my work, and then I'm going to purl my last row. Oops. Okay, almost done here. Oops. 2 more stitches. Okay, so now I have knitted and purled my desired length, which isn't too long. But you'll notice as you're knitting this, it will naturally tend to curl up. Now there are different tips and tricks where you can prevent this, but for now we're just going to concentrate on the stockinette stitch. And also a process that is done at the end of a project is that you block it. And that's for another video, but it would actually flatten everything out. But now we have reached the desired length of our little swatch here. And we want to somehow get it off this needle. So to refresh you on the cast off, we're going to knit the first 2 stitches. Okay, so now you have these 2 stitches on your right needle. You're going to take your left needle, bring it into the very first stitch that you have here, and bring it over the second stitch. Pull the second stitch through and let go with the left needle, and then you've dropped 1 stitch. So we'll try that again. So we'll stitch knit another stitch. So now we have 2 more stitches on the right needle. Use your left needle. Pull your first stitch over the second stitch, and then boom, let it go. Here we go. Knit 2 stitches on the right needle. Take your left needle, bring it over that stitch, pull it through, and drop it. And here we go. So we are almost done with this. It gets a little, at least for me, a little uncomfortable when I get close to the last few stitches because the fabric is not hanging by much. I mean, you only have a couple of stitches left and it's kind of hanging there and it makes it feel awkward, but you get through it. Oops, there we go, wrap that over. There we are. Bring that over, and the last 2 stitches, knit that, yarn over, pull through, use your left needle to grab that first stitch, pull it over your second stitch, and boom, and we are done. So to completely get it off the needle, I am going to allow myself about 6 inches in yarn, and I am going to cut. Put that aside, and then just take your needle, pull that yarn through, and you are done. So there you are, stockinette stitch. So I hope you've understood my instructions. Please feel free to make any comments or ask any questions, as I would love to help you learn a new stitch. And don't forget to subscribe and like my page or this video. Thanks so much. Have an awesome day.